Welcome to the Our Team Podcast, powered by eXp Realty. Are you an agent looking to level up? Are you someone looking to buy or sell real estate? Fantastic. This is the show for you.
Welcome to the Our Team Podcast. We are at it again. We have another extremely cool podcast for you. And we have Luke Cameron with us.
That's me.
Yet again.
We are back again, and we get to talk about kind of a part two to exactly what to say.
Well, we did a part one together.
We did.
And it was one of the most incredible podcasts we've done so far. And I mean that. I'm not even joking. We got so many comments, so many emails, a lot of texts, a lot of people saw that and were like, oh my gosh. You know, it's funny. You know who saw that podcast was our Zillow. I don't want to call her a rep. She's our growth advisor. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I saw you on the podcast talking about that book. And so
yeah.
She got the book. She bought the book.
Was that because of you? Because of the podcast?
Yeah. She had never heard of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then we were really talking. And then I talked to her about it.
Yeah.
And she bought the book. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So last time we went over five.
Mm-hmm.
My five favorites,
yeah.
As a refresher, was magical little words that you use in conversations to keep control of conversations. I'm not sure if this is for you, but so that was a good one.
Yeah.
How would you feel if? Mm-hmm. That's a really fun one. When would be a good time? Right. That's a.
Yep.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Most people. And finally,
social pressure.
What happens next? Those are the five that I immediately gravitated towards of the 23 magical phrases. It might be good, even though this is a part two. I might be assuming too much. Let's let people know exactly what we're talking about.
Okay.
There's a book called Exactly What to Say, and they actually have one for realtors too.
I did listen to that.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Is it that much different?
No.
It's
very similar.
It's the same thing. It's just tweaked a little bit.
The examples are just specifically about real estate.
Exactly.
But the phrase is the same.
And we're coming up when we talk about these. When I share it with the team, my examples are probably right in step with what those are. Right.
Pretty much. You nailed one of them. Yeah. Exactly. It's like, yeah. I thought you listened to it for a second, but no, you haven't listened to the real estate version?
I have not.
Okay.
No.
It's basically the same listen.
Okay. So Exactly What to Say. There is no such thing as Exactly What to Say part two. This is our part two.
This is our part two.
Yeah,
correct.
because we did the first five and we talked about it on a podcast.
Yeah.
People loved it. Since then, it's been several weeks, maybe a month or so. And I continue to listen to that over and over and over. I actually play it almost every day on the way home from work.
Oh, really?
I should play it on the way into work.
Yeah.
But so I'm in that groove where I'm finding new favorite ones and then having conversations with people and practicing with these magical phrases.
Yeah.
And so that's why I want to talk about the next four magical phrases.
I've been listening to it, more.
Yeah.
And it's sprinkling its way into my vocabulary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this one, let's start with this one. It's you have three options. Now, when you use that, you have three options as these magical words of exactly what to say. You have to back it up with what's better for you. So you give three options.
Okay.
But you have to make sure that you include what's better for you at the end. And the whole thing is, people like to feel like they are in control and they make the decision. So when so give them a bunch of options, right? Or three anyway.
Three.
And three is important because three has a nice rhythm.
Threes are good.
Three's good.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, why he said that three is such a good rhythm, I started to question him. Then I realized, well, it really does. It's more professional to give three. It gives more options. You would never give three options to a child who's out of line, right?
No,
you wouldn't. Like I used the example of reprimanding my daughter, say Abby, right?
Yeah.
She's 25 now, married, but back in the day, I wouldn't say, Abby, you have three options, and give her three options, right?
Wow, that was a good dad voice.
You tell your child, you've got two options.
Yeah.
You knock it off, or you get a spanking.
Yeah.
those are your two options. So in business, you're going to give three.
Right.
It's gonna just feels better. There is a weird a cadence and a comfort in three options over two or even four. Four's too many.
I think 4 is too many. Because
you imagine telling someone, okay, you have 7 options here, and then you lay them all out. Like,
Yeah.
wait, what was number 3 again?
Yeah.
What was number 2?
Because you'd forget.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the goal here is to load the choices in such a way that the third choice is the obvious choice.
Yeah.
It really stands out, right?
Right.
So, can I give you an example?
I would love an example.
This is the exact example that I came up with.
Okay.
As I see it, you have 3 options. First, you can remain in your current living situation, homeschool your kids, and leave earlier for work to help with your commute times. Second, you can find a rental property in the neighborhood of your dreams and learn to be okay with uncertainty of escalating rents. Or third, you can continue your home search knowing that you will find the ideal home and you'll be able to offset the higher interest rates by seller buy downs and tax breaks. What's better for you?
You really loaded up C there.
It's not 1, 2, C. It's 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, sorry. You really loaded up the option.
Yeah. The third choice is such an obvious choice. So, so that's the kind of thing that that we're talking about when using those magical words. You have 3 options. Can you think of another example?
I do. I have it. Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
So, all right, Brian, the way I see it, you've got 3 options. Number 1, we walk out of this house and we try to find another home that impacts you like this one. Number 2, we write the lowball offer that you were talking about, and we maybe see if we can get it accepted or wait for this price to go down and hopefully it doesn't sell. Or 3, we put an offer in on this property and we make it the one that your wife says she can picture cooking Christmas dinner this year with your newborn baby sitting in the cradle next to her. What works better for you?
You had me until the baby part.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, that's a good example. You know, Ben gave, Ben, we don't have a Ben. Gabe gave a good example in this one.
He did.
Remember that? The 3 options? He's like, okay, you have 3 options. We can go ahead and price your home at $700,000, which is above list price, and we'll get a little bit of activity.
Yeah.
Your second option is we can list it right at fair market value, which is about $670,000. And you'll get a fair amount as well, but probably more activity, probably a very level amount of activity. Or the third choice you have is we can list it for about $659,000.
Yeah.
And we will have a bidding war, and we will very likely go over that $700,000 that we wanted to get in the first place.
Right.
What works better for you? You know, so that was one he threw out.
And I love that one.
Yep. And it's something you should always remind your sellers, right?
Of course.
The whole point of these exactly what to say phrases is so that you can stay in control of the conversation. And a lot of times that's through asking questions. And so that's why a lot of these involve asking questions like, what's better for you?
What's better for you?
Definitely it's asking a question, right? So the second one that I started gravitating towards is this phrase, I bet you're a bit like me. I bet you're a bit like me. Starting a sentence that way builds rapport instantly.
Of course.
Right? I mean,
we're friends.
We're friends. I bet you're a bit like me. It can help just about anybody agree with just about anything. Right?
Yeah.
I think I've used it, maybe phrasing it a little bit differently, but I remember I used to say a lot of times in sales, and I think I learned it from Joe Polish, is that I would say, you and I we're not very different. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, you
said
and I
a little differently.
Yeah, you and I are not that much different. And then you go on to explain, but I like this one better. I bet you're a bit like me. It's more modern for sure.
I like it better.
Joe Polish, by the way, is a phenomenal direct response marketer.
Oh, okay.
Joe Sugarman, Dan Kennedy, Joe Polish.
I know Dan Kennedy. Yeah.
Phenomenal. And so they have you want to talk about drinking from a fire hose, study under those guys if you want to really drill down on your marketing skills. And they use a lot of phrases like this. So I bet you're a bit like me levels the playing field. Wouldn't you agree?
I completely agree.
Yep.
Because, like most people, people want to be like most people,
That's
like we
right.
talked about in the last one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, well, I bet you're a bit like me, and we're terrible people.
Yeah.
This,
right.
like you said,
Yeah.
it builds that rapport. But also, people tend to like themselves.
Yeah.
And so if you're saying, well, I think you're like me, I like myself, so
Yeah.
you should,
Yeah.
you like yourself too.
Yeah. Or you think the same way, right? You have the same level of intelligence, or you have the same spin on things.
Yeah.
I bet you're a bit like me, and you can relate. It's the
Yeah.
whole point of this one is it helps you connect very early in a conversation. An example would be like, I bet you're a bit like me. You enjoy working hard now, knowing it's going to really pay off in the future, right?
That's a great one.
That's a really good one. How about this? I bet you're a bit like me. You feel like house shopping can be such a hassle, but you know how amazing it feels when you get the keys.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a great feeling.
You just relate to somebody. It's a good
Yeah.
it's a good way to connect early on in a conversation. Can you think of one? Why don't you make up one on the spot?
Brian, I bet you're a bit like me. When you're selling your home, you want to make sure you get the most amount of money out of it.
I bet you're a bit like me, Luke.
Mm-hmm.
You want to sell your home for as much as you possibly can while still getting a discount on the purchase side.
You know what?
That's me.
better.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I'm a bit like you.
Yeah, I think you are a bit like me. Let's move on to the
All
third
right.
one. This one is, what makes you say that? What makes you say that?
Before we even before you even introduced me to that book,
Yeah.
I would ask that question all the time.
Yeah, well, I was not smart enough to do that. I can't believe how much I do now. And it is incredible. It is the perfect set of words to help you truly understand the objection.
Yeah, because it's not just why.
Yeah,
Because why has this? It's so broad.
Yeah.
But there's what makes you say that?
It's
It's very direct. It's very just pinpoint, drilling down on.
it's a great
Yeah.
set of words to remain in control in the presence of any form of pushback.
Yep.
Right? Oh, I'm hearing a cricket.
There is a cricket.
Is that your phone?
That is my phone.
It's a great set of words to remain in control in the presence of any kind of pushback.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's like, if somebody says, well, I now's not a very good time to buy a house, and you just go,
What makes you say that?
no, but what if you just said, okay, all right, well, hey, when you're ready, man, give me a call, and I'll be, just know I'm here for you when
Yeah.
you're ready.
Yeah.
No, unpack it.
Right. Find out. Why is it
Yeah.
not a good time?
Yes, exactly.
It's a great time to buy a home.
Yeah, it's a great set of words to create a deeper connection in the sales environment.
Yeah.
It really forces them to respond in a way that's not argumentative. You're not coming at them. You're
No,
just saying,
not at all.
Yeah, what makes you say that? It obligates that person to answer and fill in the gaps.
Right.
Right?
You're not leaving room. Because like I said, why is so broad. They could just say, well, I just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
But what makes you say that? You can find out. You can find out the
Exactly.
why through that. Yeah.
So if I told you, I don't know, Luke, I can't afford that neighborhood.
What makes you say that, Brian?
Yeah, it's going to force me to really reveal why I think I can't afford that neighborhood.
Yeah.
What if the reason I say is I said, well, I just don't think I can afford $1 million home. And you would say, well, there's homes in that neighborhood that aren't even close to $1 million.
like-
Let's go look at them.
I'm going for A50.
Yeah, that's right.
You can afford A50.
Well, what if I said, now's not a really good time to buy?
Oh, what makes you say that, Brian?
Well, because the interest rates are the highest they've ever been in the history of our nation.
Don't say that.
Right?
Don't say that.
Because that gives you an opportunity to say they are higher than they've been in the past, but they're still historically low.
Historically low.
And may I suggest that there are several products out there
Oh, man.
that lenders are offering,
Right.
whereby you can still get a very affordable mortgage payment.
there is. Yep.
So now you know why they're saying that.
Yeah.
The other one I came up with is I don't have time to fill out that loan app.
What makes you say that?
Well, I got a lot of paperwork at work. I got my kids, and I got all these different distractions and whatever.
What time works best for you?
Or you can let them know that it can all be done online, even from
Yeah.
your phone, while you're on the toilet, right?
Or wherever.
It just the point is find out why.
Yeah.
Find out why they say that, and
Yeah.
it really will unpack And you know, it's something. Those magical words, start using them
Yeah.
when you get any type of pushback. So let's do one more.
Okay.
And this one is just one more thing.
Ooh.
Just one more thing. I love that because it gives you one last attempt.
Yeah.
Right? When you say, you know, just one more thing, they usually will drop their guard
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
and
Sure. One more
kind of
thing.
lean in for, okay, what's the one more thing? let me just hear it.
Yeah.
And even if they're really blowing you off, it's
Right,
like,
yeah.
and you've already turned your back, you're walking towards the door, you grab the doorknob, but you stop, and you just look back at them and say, you know, just one more thing.
All right. One more thing.
They're
won't
going to
hurt.
give you that last little one
Yeah.
more thing. It's a great way to get a prospect to try maybe a small dose of something or a slightly different version of something that you're offering.
Okay.
Just that, you know, after they've turned you down.
Yeah.
So a good example of that would be like, just one more thing. Just one more thing. Can you introduce me to someone who can benefit from my services?
Oh, okay.
Right? So they've
Asking
already
for
turned,
referrals.
Yeah, they've turned you down. They're like, I'm not
Yeah.
interested. And you're not making any headway.
Yeah.
Okay, Luke, I can clearly see that you're not ready to move forward with any of these things. I want to respect your time, so I'll just be on my way. Wait, one more thing. It's just one more thing.
Yeah.
And then you ask, is there anyone that you could know that can benefit
Yeah.
from reserves? It's a last ditch effort to sort of keep things going in the midst of total turn down.
Right. Because who knows?
Who knows?
They
Yeah.
might have a brother.
Just one more thing. We have a special event planned for Tuesday. It's right here at the clubhouse. It's totally free, and it outlines the best practices when selling your home. Here's a pamphlet. Can I count on you being there?
Wow.
I mean, that's just one more thing in
Yeah.
another pitch, right?
Just one more thing. When can I see you again?
Yep, there's got to be a song in there somewhere. Just one more thing. I'd like to send you my monthly newsletter. What's a good email for you?
I love our monthly newsletter.
If you're door knocking, that's a really good one. When you've had a little bit of a conversation, it was
Yeah.
kind of awkward. You know they wanted to just kind of get rid of you, but
Yeah.
And just one more thing before you kick me out into the street, I'd really like to add you to my newsletter. Can I just get a
Yeah.
quick, whatever? So, those are really good phrases.
Yeah.
To recap, it was you have three options. I bet you're a bit like me.
Bet you're a bit like me.
What makes you say that? And just one more thing.
Just one more thing.
Those are my four next favorite ones. I don't think I'll do a part 3 on this.
No?
Although there are some other ones we never touched on. One that I like, it's before you make up your mind.
Oh.
That's the phrase. Before you make up your mind.
Yeah.
So you don't even let them give you an answer yet. The whole point of that one is you interrupt them so that you can take it to another level.
Right.
Before you make up your mind. And then you go from there. So we could eventually touch all of these.
Yeah.
Maybe we will because
Maybe
it's just
we
so
will.
dang fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Should we set a like limit? If we get 1,000 likes, do a part 3.
If you can give us 1,000 likes on this, we'll do a part 3. Anyway,
Love
it's
it.
exactly what to say.
Yeah.
It's Phil Jones, incredible book. I recommend you get the Audible book because 2 things will happen. You're going to learn exactly what to say.
Yeah.
And by listening to him do his own book, you're going to learn exactly how to say it.
That's right.
It's not just what to say, it's how to say.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend that you get the Audible and just start consuming it. It only takes an hour and 44 minutes to
Yep.
go through the entire Audible.
Yeah.
So just listen to it over and over and over, and I promise you it will level you up in the sales environment.
I completely, I know it already has.
Yeah.
Yeah, just emails and everything, sprinkling into my knowledge and my vocabulary.
Yep. It's fantastic.
It's great. I love it.
Well, thank you very much
Yeah.
for being with us, Luke.
Thank you.
I could not have done this without you.
You know,
I don't like to talk to myself.
you couldn't have done a part 2 without me.
That's for darn
'Cause-
sure, because you were in on part 1.
That's right.
Guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Link in the description,
All
and
right.
we'll catch you on the next one.
before you
go, would you do us a favor? If you found any value in this content, would you please like and subscribe to it? Maybe even leave a comment. It really helps us out.